What's up, guys? It's your favorite first grade teacher, Miss McGurn here, and I am bringing you today's reading lesson for Thursday, September 24th. Let's jump right into it. So as you guys can see, we're still continuing to work on relating previous experiences to what is being read. This was all about making connections to the story that we're reading. Now, we've been talking about making connections in class, and one of the things that the kids had an opportunity to do today was to share their connections that they had made on the books that they had read on Wednesday. I had some amazing connections that had been made, and I really enjoyed listening to how other students are connecting to the story. Just as a review, there are 3 different types of text connections that you can make. The first text is a text to self connection. This is when you're putting yourself into the story. You're able to relate to the character in some sort of way. So it's a connection between a book and your life or experience. You have a text to world connection. This is when you're connecting to things that you're seeing that's going on in the world. Maybe you've read something that really meant something to you that, again, is going on in the world, and you're able to connect those 2 things together. The last is a text to text connection. This is where you are able to relate to the text. You're able to make a connection by thinking about another book while you're reading. Now we're going to be reading the story Wemberly Worried by Kevin Henkes.
And now, Wemberly Worried. Written and illustrated by Kevin Henkes. Wemberly worried about everything. Big things. I wanted to make sure you were still here. Little things. And things in between. Mama, what if I shrink? Wemberly worried in the morning. She worried at night. And she worried throughout the day. You worry too much, said her mother. When you worry, I worry, said her father. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. At home, Wemberly worried about the tree in the front yard. What if it falls on our house? And the crack in the living room wall. What if it gets bigger and something comes out of it? And the noise the radiators made. What if there's a snake inside? At the playground, Wemberly worried about the chains on the swings, and the bolts on the slide, and the bars on the jungle gym. Too rusty, too loose, too high. And always, she worried about her doll, Petal. Shouldn't Petal have a car seat too? Petal's lost forever. I found her, sweetie. I'll wait for you, Petal. Don't worry, said her mother. Don't worry, said her father. But Wemberly worried. She worried and worried and worried. When Wemberly was especially worried, she rubbed Petal's ears. Wemberly worried that if she didn't stop worrying, Petal would have no ears left at all. On her birthday, Wemberly worried that no one would come to her party. See, said her mother, there was nothing to worry about. But Wemberly worried that there wouldn't be enough cake. This is the best present ever. I wish I had my birthday today. On Halloween, Wemberly worried that there would be too many butterflies in the neighborhood parade. See, said her father, there was nothing to worry about. But then Wemberly worried because she was the only one. You worry too much, said her mother. When you worry, I worry, said her father. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. Soon, Wemberly had a new worry: school. Wemberly worried about the start of school more than anything she had ever worried about before. I loved school. By the time the first day arrived, Wemberly had a long list of worries. What if no one else has spots? What if no one else wears stripes? What if no one else brings a doll? What if the teacher is mean? What if the room smells bad? What if they make fun of my name? What if I can't find the bathroom? What if I hate the snack? What if I have to cry? Don't worry, said her mother. Don't worry, said her father. But Wemberly worried. She worried and worried and worried. She worried all the way there. While Wemberly's parents talked to the teacher, Mrs. Peachum, Wemberly looked around the room. Then Mrs. Peachum said, Wemberly, there is someone I think you should meet. Her name was Jewel. She was standing by herself. She was wearing stripes. She was holding a doll. At first, Wemberly and Jewel just peeked at each other. This is Petal, said Wemberly. This is Niblet, said Jewel. Petal waved. Niblet waved back. Hi, said Petal. Hi, said Niblet. I rub her ears, said Wemberly. I rub her nose, said Jewel. Throughout the morning, Wemberly and Jewel sat side by side and played together whenever they could. Petal and Niblet sat side by side too. Wemberly worried, but no more than usual, and sometimes even less. Before Wemberly knew it, it was time to go home. Come back tomorrow, called Mrs. Peachum as the students walked out the door. Wemberly turned and smiled and waved. I will, she said. Don't worry.
So the big question that I do have for you guys is, were you able to make a connection while you were listening to this story? A lot of times we can find ways to connect to the stories mostly with ourselves. But for me, I made a connection because this story with Wemberly worrying so much made me think about Clark the shark and his worries that he had on his first day of school as well. There's also the Pout Pout fish goes to school, where he was worried that he wasn't going to be able to fit in or find his class. So there's a lot of different ways that we can connect to these types of stories. How did you connect to Wemberly worried? Kevin Henkes makes a wide variety of books. So if you really enjoyed listening to this story, I highly suggest that you check him out. These are just a couple of the titles that he has that are my personal favorites. But again, his books are very easy to make connections with. So when you're able to make that connection, you're able to relate to that character, and it helps us to become a better reader in that sense. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you at our next Zoom session.